Hello everybody, welcome back to a brand new episode of our NASCAR Heat 5 career mode here on the channel. I hope you're all having a great day. Today we have the Coke 600 on the way, an exciting one after last episode's ups and downs as well. We saw some violent accidents in Darlington and we of course did not quite get the finish that we deserved when we thought we might be fighting for a race victory, but that did not happen. You see the two worst SHR cars currently in the standings. Burton and Barry are set currently to lose their rides at the end of the season unless they both pick things up. We're running a patriotic scheme this weekend. Sanok whipped this absolute beaut up here for the Top Golf colors. Daniel Hemrick also has a patriotic scheme. And a quick correction from last episode, those new schemes we saw with the throwbacks, they were actually made by London Designs. I got the name completely wrong, so shout out to London for those schemes that we saw in Darlington here. Now we're ready to roll in Charlotte here for the Coca-Cola 600, one of the most prestigious races in motorsports. We go from the Southern 500 last episode to the Coke 600. You got back-to-back crown jewels, and we have, another crown jewel coming later in the season, just one more, and that is, of course, the Indianapolis Brickyard 400, which returns to the oval this season. And then you kind of have what I would consider a personal crown jewel coming up. Of course, Canada on the calendar for this season of the NASCAR Heat 5 career mode, so I have high hopes going into that race as well. But we have a lot of time to focus in on that one now, as we are officially halfway through the regular season here. And unlike last season, we're not clawing our way to the playoffs. We're already locked into the playoffs. No concerns there. Of course, only a few multi-winners this season. Chase Elliott's won 4 races. Chastain's won 2, and Chris Buescher now with the win in Darlington after the win in Bristol, of course, gets 2 wins on the season now. He's the 3rd multi-time winner this season. Focusing in on qualifying, I've had this race circled on my calendar this season. I'm confident, if we hit our marks and don't make any mistakes, run a clean race, we have a chance to win the Coke 600 here in Charlotte Motor Speedway. So I am very excited for this one. I didn't have Darlington, circled. I didn't think we were going to be as quick as we were there, especially late in the going when we seemed to really finally get the speed in the car. But speed in qualifying non-existent when you hit the wall on the exit of turn 4, so that ruins our lap. And you can see there it's going to be a 30.052, putting us down to 23rd for the starting of this Coke 600. Not where we need to be. Hemrick, one spot in front of us there. McLeod at the back of the grid here as we look through the rest of the order. Daniel Suarez just inside the top 30. A rough qualifying effort for him. 10th place, Eric Jones. The pole, it's a surprising one. Eric Almirola, I don't know how it happened, but he's on pole for the number 21 Wood Brothers machine for this Coke 600. A lot of racing. We had Xfinity Series this weekend actually in Texas, and it was Corey Heim holding off Allgaier, Bain, and Perez and Hill for the victory there. SVG in 15th place now, as he's really focusing in on Xfinity and trucks more, and now that he's proven he can win on a Cup Oval. Let's get ready to go racing here Sunday evening for the Coke 600.
We're coming to you live from Charlotte Motor Speedway. It's one of the most prestigious races in NASCAR tonight with the Coke 600, 400 laps and 600 miles of grueling racing. Last week we saw Chris Buescher earn his 2nd win of the season. Will we see another repeat winner tonight?
I say no, Mike. Kyle Larson is going to get the job done. He's had a great season so far, just hasn't been able to get to victory lane. I think that boy gets it done tonight.
He's one to watch for sure. I, however, have a repeat winner in mind, and that's Denny Hamlin. He loves this racetrack, and I think we'll see him up front when it matters most.
All right, team, thanks for the hard work this weekend. Thanks for putting in the work to fix the car from qualifying. We got a quick one, and I'm going to show you guys tonight.
We trust you out there. Keep it clean for me tonight.
One of the main reasons I want to go to Joe Gibbs Racing is really to just get away from the crew chief, who's really annoying. But getting ready for this Coca-Cola 600, and I noticed that something went wrong in my modding because Harrison Burton's picture is still there over the 21. I think it's tied to the paint scheme because I know I had changed it before. I don't know. But nonetheless, can Eric Almirola pick up a win here? I'm going to say unlikely as we get ready to take the green flag here from Charlotte Motor Speedway. It's 100 laps, a lot of racing, 4 stages. We have an extra stage, and the green flag is out. The stages are split relatively evenly. They're a little bit over 20 laps apiece, but You're not going to see any replay cameras in stage 1 because it's going to be such a drastic difference between the timing of the day between this part of the race and then what the replay was showing. So you'll see replays come in stage 2 unless there's a crash in stage 1 to be shown here. Now a big run down the back straightaway, right to the back of that number 1 Bush machine of Ross Chastain. Down into turn 3 on my outside, I got Ryan Truex. He's impressed enough to get another race in the LMC 44 after finishing second in Darlington. Of course, some strategy and cautions helped him get that finish, but he still ran a superb race. So yeah, shout out to Ryan Truex putting up some good numbers here. Kyle Larson out to the lead early on over Eric Almirola as we go down this backstretch of lap 2 of the inside of that Tame the Beast paint scheme made by Tyler Tinsley for the number 45 of Tyler Reddick now, and we would continue moving our way forward. It's actually going 3 wide here down the front stretch with Chastain, Bowman, then going through to the next row of cars, Zellmendinger, Hocevar as well. We would continue with this 3 wide action. We would sort it out though, but out of turn 4 again, some 3 wide this time with Eric Jones and your Atlanta winner, Bubba Wallace, who's just had a miserable season in that DoorDash number 23. Can he turn things around here in the Coke 600? Not looking like it early, but how about this? In just 4 complete laps, we've gone from outside of the top 20 to 10th place. What a drive early on, and I'm bringing the number 12 of Ryan Blaney with me. We saw the pace Blaney had in Darlington. We brought him forward with us, Sarah, as well. We're doing it again today on the inside of Bella. Hit the apron, slide up. Blaney goes for the 3 wide move. He's going to take 2 positions in 1. Down this bank straightaway up into P9 goes Ryan Blaney. We would follow him through up to the next group of cars of McDowell as well as Gibbs and Truex, and actually going to the outside. So you can see somebody's holding up this group of cars, and it's none other than the 24 of Byron, not Almirola. It was the 24 off the pace, and I go for an aggressive 3 wide move up the inside of the 24. We'll get cleared through the center of turn 1 and 2. Blaney looking to the inside. Blaney's now crashing on the inside of us into the outside, while a big hit there and a huge impact. The 23 goes airborne and the 12 goes up and over as well. The caution flies, and we'll get an immediate look at this. Look at this impact here. The 12 goes around into the outside while Hocevar crashes, and Bubba Wallace, that's a huge crash right there. But they get through it. The 12 out for the day here. Ryan Blaney's race is over. Nothing there that really looked, impactful enough to create an injury. So we're not going to see any injuries come out of that, likely, unless it's maybe like a concussion-based injury, because there was some big impacts there. But we won't find out today. Nobody pitted except for 1 car, the 78 of BJ McLeod. So we get back racing here from the 8th position. That crash happened so close to me. I mean, Blaney was literally to my left rear quarter panel when he started crashing. Fortunately, we were far enough ahead to not get collected in that accident. So we would very quickly, however, realize that not only myself, but everybody just about has made a crucial error by not pitting. We are about a lap or 2 short on field from making it to the end of stage 1, so we are going to have to pit. And yeah, we made the same mistake that 39 drivers in total made, or 38 with Blaney being out, and McLeod, I think, should be able to make it to the end of the stage. We're moving forward. We pass Truex, we pass the 34 of McDowell, we run down the 11 and 21 of Hamlin, and Almirola there, Sean to the back of the 21, trying to let these 2 settle it out, but they couldn't. We are now less than 10 to go on the stage, and I decide, okay, I'm just going to make it 3 wide with these guys and try to take P3, but we have been absolutely flying here in stage number 1 into 3rd place now. Up front, it's no longer Larson. He is, of course, in the equation running in that 2nd position, but it's Chase Elliott out in front of this race currently. But pit stops are going to be coming up here. Like I said, I mean, 38 cars of the 39 left running are not going to be able to make it to the end of stage 1. McLeod should be able to pick up the stage 1 victory in that number 78 car. What a story that will be now. But yeah, we were getting ready now for pit stops, and we have to pit before 2 laps to go in the stage, otherwise we will get penalized. I think it's like 30 seconds we will get a penalty for. It's a total pit stop time, not actual penalty. It's about 15 seconds for the actual penalty. But we come in with Elliott and Larson, and we're going to be making some adjustments here. We made some adjustments on the wedge, tire pressures, grill tape as well, and we're going to come in, put 4 tires on, left sides go on, and the 9 car is going to get out in front of us, but the 5 of Larson, where is he? He's behind us. Look at that. We actually get in front of Kyle Larson on track. Allmendinger's still on track, and you can see some others Commentators as well, Gibbs and Alex Bowman, but everybody is basically rushing to the pit lane this lap here. Keselowski is going to get in front of us, a lot of damage on the front end of that number 6 car as we go up to the outside, but you can see everybody in this group here is going to pit. The only one that stays out is Allmendinger. However, coming to the final moments of this stage, he's on the final lap of the stage. He's going to pit though out of turn 4 and give up the stage win to McLeod. So McLeod would take the stage win. We would get into the top 10 out of turn 4 though. Larson's going to get up my inside. I slide up the track there. It's going to be P8 unless we pass somebody in the pits. We do. We pass one car. We get P7 in stage number 1. What a weird ending to the stage, all because of pit strategy. So McLeod wins the stage. Allmendinger is going to get credited with second over Keselowski. And how about Harrison Burton in the top 5? A driver that obviously needs some points to try and save his ride after just one season. It will be currently with that Stewart-Haas racing team as we get ready to go green for stage 2. So we're not going to be pitting, of course. We just did our pit stops here as we get ready to roll for the second stage from P7. On the inside line, look at the change. Actually, no, McLeod pitted. Sorry, I should mention that he had to pit. So we do move up one position into P6. Row number 3 on the outside. 2 slower cars on this outside lane because Keselowski and Harrison Burton both, they have not had a lot of pace so far in this race. Keselowski, of course, and just RFK in general, Roush Fenway, Keselowski, they have been the quickest Ford team by a long shot out of the gate. They struggled so hard last season. None of their drivers in the playoffs. They couldn't find victory lane. This season, they've now got 2 wins under their belt with the 17 of Chris Buescher. Keselowski has not won, but he's currently in the playoff picture. So clearly some big improvements out of that team. Now, as you can see, we lose some ground though on this restart, and looking to the outside of the 10, trying to pass him and the 6 of Keselowski. Forward moving is Kyle Busch and that number 8 3 Chevrolet. Now he has had a very rough start to the season, just like his teammate of Austin Dillon, but right now looking very good as he's moving his way through the field, and we are now past the 6 of Keselowski. So up into P9, we would run down Ty Gibbs here on lap 4 of stage number 2. We'll look up the inside. AJ Allmendinger, he took the lead after the caution in McLeod pitting at the end of the stage, and he's still leading this race on lap 4. As you can see, as we would now pass at 34, McDowell, he tries to fight back up the inside through 1 and 2. Not going to matter. We will stay ahead for P7. So can we run down Kyle Busch and Ross Chastain? The answer was no. They would drive away. Everybody was driving away from me, unfortunately here. So we were just kind of settling in to 7th place. Chase Elliott would eventually take the lead from the 13 of Allmendinger. Is Elliott going to get his 5th win of the season? Most recently won at Talladega. I'm getting tired of that 9 car winning 5 races potentially that he's won. If he pulls it off tonight in basically half the regular season, it's kind of insane. But yeah, he's been on absolute rails this season. However, we would make it all the way to the pit window, and you can see everybody heading into the pit lane. A pretty calm, cool, and collected stage 2 compared to stage 1, that's for sure. So we're going to be coming in at the end of lap 16. Allmendinger is going to stay out on track. Buescher is coming in front of us as well, and here we come. We close in a lot of ground there, and it's going to be 4 tires. Some more adjustments as well, just trying to free up the car. That was the biggest issue that I was dealing with so far. The car just a little bit too tight for my preference now, but we're going to come out behind the 14 or 17, sorry, and we gain a decent amount of ground. However, we're still going to come out in a bit of traffic here now. Ryan Truex in front of us, but you see the group behind us. Kyle Busch, actually, he's lost some ground for sure because he was well ahead of us and now he's behind us. No sign of Ross Chastain either, as we now close in on the 44 up in front of us there of Ryan Truex. Busch goes low, I go high, and Truex is going to plant himself right in front of the 8, so that will at least keep me in front of Kyle Busch for a little bit, but it wouldn't last long. Kyle Busch already up my inside on lap 18 through 3 and 4. He goes up the position. We will be well inside the top 10 once this pit cycle runs its course, and as it did, we were now fighting with our teammate of AJ Allmendinger, actually, as he had just come out of the pits and had lost some ground as well, of course, staying out quite a bit longer than other cars around him. But once the cycle had ran its full course, P6 is where we would find ourselves. Kyle Larson out in front, as the caution's actually going to come out with a couple laps to go in the stage, so that will give Larson the stage victory. We will be P6, so overall, relatively happy with where the car was at, but still really just needed a bit more turn in and turn off and turn in the center. Basically, just need the car to turn more, as Carson Hocevar is going to get the lucky dog. A bunch of drivers, by the way, trapped a lap down from the awkward strategy that we saw in stage number 1. As well, some cars are staying out and some cars are pitting. So 12 cars remain on the racetrack. So Buescher, 13th place on down, all have fresh tires. This is an opportunity for us, although we are down in traffic as we start stage 3 of 4, not the final stage. We might be in traffic, but we have an opportunity to now put some cars between myself and the quickest cars on the track, which are the 9 and the 17, as well as the 5 of Kyle Larson. So we got to get aggressive here now as we exit turn 2, headed down this back straightaway, swinging to the left, 3 wide with Elliott. We passed him already on this back straightaway. Now just one more car to pass for the drivers that are on the same strategy as us, and that's the 17 of Buescher. However, look out front, it's the 13 of Allmendinger. We know Allmendinger has top 5 pace tonight. He has been having a solid night here in Charlotte, so that's a really good opportunity for that number 13 of Allmendinger as well, as we continue to just absolutely fly through this field here of cars, of course, on that different tire strategy. Josh Berry up here in the mix in that Hunt Brothers Pizza Machine. We went 3 wide there into turn number 3. We'll pass him and up into the 4th position as well once we clear the 6th of Brad Keselowski as we continue on. But Buescher was right with me. Elliott not far behind either as we go down into the next corner on lap 4. There's Briscoe side by side with the 3 of Austin Dillon. Up the track we go. That's going to open the door for the 17 of Chris Buescher as we now give a big shot to the back of the 3. Trying to push him clear was the goal of the 14, and we would do exactly that. Down the back straightaway, Dillon gets pushed clear by myself down the back straightaway into turn 3, so now we can dive down to the inside. Elliott to the outside, hold on, he's past the 17, and now he's going to go to my outside there. The 3 car now planted directly in front of me here as we go down this front stretch. We're going to have to force it up the inside. Now he covers off the 9, so that works for me because I'll go up the inside, and through turn 1 and 2, we're going to be able to complete the pass. So up into a runner-up position, we will go here. Can we run down Allmendinger? Can we hold off Elliott as well as Chris Buescher? Denny Hamlin as well into the mix there just behind, so don't count out that FedEx Toyota Camry. But Buescher now into the 3rd position after passing the 9 of Elliott, who had gotten stuck on the outside behind the 3. Again up the track, that opens the door for the 17 to go through on the inside. So down into 3rd place we go, and Elliott would now look to my outside on the exit of turn 2. Close quarters right there. Elliott really forcing the issue, and look at the speed in that Coca-Cola machine. Good luck beating Chase Elliott tonight. What a season it has been for him, and he continues with that dominance now as he's looking for win number 5 tonight. Denny Hamlin, the next car behind us. The battles continue in front of us, though. Elliott passes the 17 of Buescher, and Buescher was starting to lose some pace here as this stage went on. You can see all of us are getting closer to Allmendinger, but Elliott is driving away from us, and I am sticking with Buescher, and we are actually putting some pressure on this 17 car. Elliott would catch and pass the 13, who would eventually drift all the way back to myself in the 17, holding up Buescher a little bit, looking for an opportunity to pass the 17 car, but Buescher will get to the inside of Allmendinger, so I'm just going to basically have to follow through. That will still put us, though, into the 3rd running position. Great to see colleague with more than one car in the mix. Allmendinger in the top 10. Hemrick as well is flirting with the top 10 running position at this point in the race. So colleague in general has brought some speed here to Charlotte. The caution is going to fly with 35 laps to go here in this race, and there was only 5 laps of fuel left in the car. We were about to pit, but that will not be a 3rd green flag pit stop of the night. So we're going to come in, though, for 4 tires as well as fuel this car up, and once again just try to loosen up the car a little bit. The reason for the caution was Alex Bowman actually in the 48. Look at this, through 3 and 4 into the outside wall. He would go. Big impact there. His rough season continues. He would go up and over actually there. I think that was Logano that hit him, and hold on, here comes the 78 of BJ McLeod to hit him as well, and Ryan Vargas was headed into the pit lane just as that was happening. Regain a spot in the pit, so onto the front row we go, as now it's Elliott and myself leading the field back to the green flag. This is going to leave us well under 10 laps to go in stage number 3. Keep in mind, like I said already a few times. Still a whole nother stage to go. Maybe if you are a new viewer to NASCAR, the Coca-Cola 600 runs 4 stages instead of 3. Every other race throughout the year runs 3 stages, but you got 400 laps. It's a long, grueling race. They basically split it into 4 100-lap stages. As we go down into turn 3, Elliott has the advantage. It's hard to make some headway on the outside lane on a restart in Charlotte. It's a lot easier to do than Darlington, of course, like we mentioned last episode, but yeah, Charlotte, it's still difficult to go forward on the top lane. So Buescher goes through, Chastain goes through, Kyle Larson, he had struggled after the pit cycle had run his course in the last stage. He really struggled to go forward, but he's back now, up into 4th place. Austin Hill in P7 for Richard Childress Racing in the 33. How about that run currently for that number 33 driver? The Xfinity regular, of course, fighting for an Xfinity championship. Rumor is RCR looking at buying one of the charters from Stewart-Haas Racing to field a full-time car for Austin Hill next season in this career mode. Now, as we fight with the one of Chastain in these closing laps of stage 3, the pace is continuously getting better in this 13 or 16 car. The 13 just behind me as we exit turn 4. We clear Chastain for 4th, and now it's just about bringing it home for stage 3 at least. Final lap down into turn 3. The 17 all over the back of the 9 of Elliott, but it's not going to be enough. Chase Elliott out of turn 4 will win stage number 3. One more stage to go. It's going to be Buescher, Larson, myself, and AJ Allmendinger. Your top 5. Colleague Racing is here to fight tonight, and that is certainly being proven by our run. And Hemrick is in 13th right now, having a decent run, as well as he's continuing to try and creep up into the mix. Lucky Dog goes to Eric Almirola. Some big names like Byron, Logano, still trapped a lap down here, as we would take 4 tires, feel, and once again just loosen it up a little bit here, mainly with tire pressures that was actually working on. But we're back underway for stage number 4 here in Charlotte, the final stage. Now it's go time. I mean, it's been go time all race. You're trying to get whatever you can with the stage format. You're always fighting for as many points as you can, and especially the stage victory with the playoff points, of course, and the importance of those when it comes to down into the late parts of the year when you're in that playoff swing. Hamlin up my inside into turn 3. Allmendinger looking to break back into the top 3 past the 17. Hamlin is going to pass us for the 5th position, and Austin Hill, he's got not enough momentum, so we get to the inside. Hamlin covers it off though through the front straightaway, so we have to wait, and now we're going to make it 3 wide with Hamlin and Buescher down the front straightaway on lap 80 with 21 to go. They got side by side. I took the advantage. Elliott, Larson, Allmendinger, myself side by side, still with the 17 of Buescher. He was not going to make this an easy overtake for myself, and at some point, late in the Coke 600, you got to say, I got to get going here. I'm going to have to start leaning on the door and use this guy up a little bit here, and that's what I would do. Into turn 3 and 4, 20 to go, and I decide, I'm sorry, Chris, I got to go. I'm going to use him right up there, squeeze him up towards the outside wall, and he's going to lose another spot to Denny Hamlin as well, but we move up into the 4th position here with 19 laps remaining. Green flag pit stop is possible here. We do not have enough fuel to make it to the end of this race. Currently diving down into turn 3. Hamlin right behind us into the outside wall, blows the right rear. The caution's gonna fly. Contact there. Truex, Hemrick as well get involved, and the caution is out with less than 20 laps to go from Charlotte, and now making a big swing at it. This is the biggest swing I took. I took about 4 rounds out of the wedge, increased the tire pressures dramatically on the right sides, but 2 tires was the call. Austin Dillon gains 10 spots by taking no tires. And that's the second time tonight we've just barely avoided an accident here as we're back underway. And look at my rear view mirror, Carson Hocevar for Andretti Global up in the mix here tonight. We saw a bit of him earlier. He got trapped a lap down for a lot of this race, but now he's back on the lead lap and he's in the mix to the inside though. We were able to get in between him and our teammate of Allmendinger, Larson. Back to 4th, down the SPAC straightaway. Elliott loves what he sees because Buescher, what has happened to the 17 car? He's been shuffled down the order a little bit here, so the pit stop not gone in his favor, and that has made things a lot easier for the 9 car because he's faster for sure than Allmendinger, faster than myself. Definitely as we approach 13 laps ago in this race, Larson stays ahead and he would run down the 13. And now to the inside, Larson 1 second, and Larson most importantly wants his first win of the season, but the fight wasn't over. Allmendinger fights back to the inside of that number 5 as we went down this front straightaway. 10 laps ago in the Coke 600, and the caution's out again as Elliott was running away, and you can see the order there. Hemrick still just outside the top 10. The lucky dog goes to what appears to be Tyler Reddick this time. Bubba Wallace got the last one. Bowman maybe brought out another caution, but now it's row 2 again on the outside. Not where we want to be, as we're going to get back rolling. Watch out for John Hunter Nemechek in the 42 car. He has creeped his way up into the mix. One of the drivers that was trapped a lap down earlier as well. Kyle Busch up my inside. Busher on my rear bumpers. We go down into turn 1. A shot to the back of the 13. Trying to push him forward. If Allmendinger could find a way to win this race, that would be great. 2 Colleague cars locked into the playoffs in about the first half of the regular season would be fantastic and make the goal simple for the last half. But I'm going backwards there. A bit of contact with John Hunter. And now we got washed up the track because of that. And now Chastain on the inside of us is going to try and clear us on the exit of turn 2, lap 95 of 100. A big shot to the back of the 13, who's going backwards with me. Unfortunately, we lose a spot officially to Chastain on the exit of 4, coming to 5 laps to go in this race, but we have a big run on him, who's side by side with Allmendinger. 3 wide there briefly, now just 2 wide. We clear Chastain into turn 1. We will try to clear this 13. Allmendinger tries to fight back through the center of the corner, but we have the exit. Mank up in a P5, trying to run down the 42, and I said, you know, once again, I gotta go. We're getting aggressive. I want to win this Coke 600, and it seems like in these late laps, we might have the fastest car on 2 tires. We're going to pass the 42, but he fights back as I'm trying to look up the inside of Kyle Busch on the exit of the corner. 3 laps to go. That's all we have remaining here. Into turn 3, though, leaning on the 8 through the center of the corner. We get the run. We're going to use up Kyle Busch as well. I'm just on a mission at this point. I push him out a little bit wide. We don't wreck anybody, but we use him up a little bit. 2 laps to go. Larson's all over the back of Chase Elliott with a lap and a half to go. You can see visually we are closing, but there's not enough time through the center of 3. We need the 5 and the 9 to fight, and it's not happening. Out of turn 4, white flag in the air for Chase Elliott. 4 wins, season about to become 5, as he tries to hang on for another about 25 seconds, as Larson shows the nose in the Wawa Chevrolet, but it's not enough. We are continuing to close. We are the quickest car on 2 tires. What it could have been. There's not enough time, and that is so frustrating. Just like Darlington, a different scenario. We're going to get the finish to show for it into 3 and 4 for the final time. Chase Elliott out of turn 4, win number 5 on the season for that number 9 Coca-Cola machine, and it's a Coke 600 crown jewel victory for Chase Elliott over Larson, myself, and how about the other 2 drivers in the top 5? John Hunter Nemechek and the rookie of Carson Hocevar. Great effort from him in that number 26 machine. What could have been for us today? All 3 Colleague cars in the top 15. I think that's like the first time that's happened, unless it happened in Daytona maybe, or Auto Club, I think it was, or Atlanta when Hemrick showed up. But we'll take a look at the standings and how that affects everything. And yeah, what could have been? We were absolutely flying at the end of that race on 2 tires, and I really wish we had another couple laps, because we could have made something happen. So close to that second win, and here's how it affects the playoff standings. Elliott, of course, obviously on top, and you can see Larson the best without a victory. Reddick, the last driver in the playoffs, with not a good finish because he was trapped a lap down from the stage 1 scenarios that played out. McDowell out by 6 points, but actually in once the part-time car gets out of the playoffs. That does it for me. Next episode we head to Gateway. I'll see you guys then. I'm confident for that one. Have a great day, everybody.